ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nierenstein. This is Vehicle Virgins, and today I've got a pretty special story to share with you. 2 years ago, I was given the incredible opportunity to travel to Jackson Hole, Wyoming to try out the all-new Royce Cullinan. And after that review, I decided and told myself that one day I have to have that car. Now, 17 months later, I'm sitting here next to my brand new 2020 Royce Cullinan. Aptly named after the world's largest diamond that they found in 1905, the Royce Cullinan symbolizes opulence, luxury, class, and most importantly, versatility. But more important than that is something I know you guys are all going to love. Finally, I have merchandise, from premium t-shirts down to water bottles, hoodies for your girlfriend, to honestly, stuff for dogs, live right now on vvgear.com. I've got a link in the description below for that. It's vvgear.com. And honestly, I am so stoked. Thank you guys so much for the support. And now I've got something that when I see you guys out at car meets, future fan meets, I can know who's a real Vehicle Virgins fan. All right, without further ado, let's talk about the new Cullinan, guys. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan is based on the chassis from the Rolls-Royce Phantom. Only there's a different front and rear overhang, and of course the suspension is significantly beefed up so that this is capable off-roading. That's right, you can take a $500,000 Rolls-Royce SUV off-roading. That is pretty damn cool. Of course, it's very powerful. It's got a V12, 563 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. It weighs a lot, but it still does 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. It's not a race car. It's a luxury SUV that also off-roads. I mean, I don't even know what category this is. Honestly, it's the best SUV ever created. And in my humble opinion, it's the best vehicle that Rolls-Royce Motor Cars has ever created. So let's walk along the exterior. This is Arctic White, which I think looks really, really nice. On the inside, of course, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We've got a similar theme going. Suicide doors, which, I mean, they just, look at the presence this thing has, opening the doors like this. Now, of course, we've got curtains. Why would you not have curtains? Go ahead and close them so people can't see you. Privacy is important. Then more on the door. I mean, we've got Rolls-Royce's bespoke audio system. Guys, I touted the Mercedes S-Class that I had. The upgraded Burmester high-end sound system is the best sound system I've ever heard. Rolls-Royce took it up a notch, and honestly, this is the best sound system of all time. Now you'll notice, what is this chrome thing here? Go ahead and figure out how to use this for the first time on film. That's right, the Rolls-Royce comes with an umbrella for when it rains. That is ridiculous. Obviously, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan is massive because it's based on the Phantom, but something that they did that's very ingenious is give it rear wheel steering. That means this wheel also turns, not just the front ones. It turns in the opposite direction of the fronts in order to virtually shorten the wheelbase and make it more nimble at slow speeds. At high speeds, they go in the same direction, so it has more stability. The suspension is absolutely genius. It actually is connected to satellites to predict the road ahead. That's right, the car is scanning the road ahead using GPS, and then it adjusts the suspension based on how it thinks the road is going to be. When I tell you guys this is the best riding car in the world, I'm not joking. It's really hard to put into words. Rolls-Royce calls the suspension magic carpet ride, and I think that's an excellent representation of how it feels. It's almost like you're floating above the road instead of actually driving on the road. It's pretty spectacular. I love the design of this car. Obviously, it's polarizing, it's massive. Some people love it, some people hate it. If you've seen it in person, I think it would change your mind. Now, come to the rear of the car, and of course, we've got one of the most practical design elements of the whole thing. Go ahead and pop that open. Go ahead and lower this. And we've actually got a rear power opening tailgate. Now for certain people who want to spend a little bit extra money, you can actually get these rear seats for viewing, for picnics, for tailgating at a Michigan game. I'm not really sure what you would do with them, but the sky's the limit there. Of course, you can sit like this. Now, the Rolls-Royce has air struts that can raise and lower the car. So if you want, it lowers the car down to make it easier to put stuff in here, whether it's stuff for horseback riding or really anything. It also has a partition because, of course, the occupants of the car don't want to be bothered by their luggage. I mean, this is literally glass. I don't know why that is, but it's pretty dang cool. Go ahead to close this. It's really easy. Click this button up here. That makes sense. And then boom. Are you kidding? This car, everything about this car just makes me smile and laugh. And honestly, that's what cars are about, right? If you're not having any fun, then what is the point? Trust me when I say, I picked this car up yesterday. I haven't been smiling, laughing, having fun like that in a long time. Now, is it because of the car? No, it's partially because of the car. It's freaking awesome. But it's also finally realizing that dream, that one day I wanted a Cullinan, and finally I can say that this is my actual car. I feel so thankful, guys, seriously. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on the inside, talk about some of the interior features, obviously take it for a drive, and show you what it's like to drive both first-person point of view and over the shoulder, you know, the traditional Vehicle Virgins GoPro cams, what it's like behind the wheel of one of these things. For one, I mean, the attention to detail is ridiculous. There's a Spirit of Ecstasy logo here, a chrome Cullinan. I mean, lamb's wool carpets. I could just rub this all day. And it's not just lamb's wool. It also has leather, so you have a little bit more traction for your feet. Now, something I learned on the Rolls-Royce Cullinan launch, this is attention to detail like only Rolls-Royce has. Let's look at the grain here. This is open pore wood. It doesn't have lacquer on it, so you can actually feel the pores of the wood. Now, the wood was made at 55 degrees exactly so that it blends in with the interior of the car. If you come and look on the inside, the wood grain meets at a perfect point, and then that flows with the door. I mean, guys, this is crazy, right? We've got a new digital display that also kind of looks timeless and classy. We've got really, really good graphics on the screen. It works well. We've got an analog Cullinan clock here. This I like quite a bit, actually. Instead of an ashtray, it's actually a little slot that you can place your phone in if you want to rest it there. Now, we've got a glove box here, a glove box here. And in Rolls-Royce fashion, we don't have those 52 degrees, 55 degrees. Nope. We have these little sliders right here, like hockey pucks. And, sir, in the back, how would you like your air? Would you like it soft or medium? I mean, what? Are you serious? Of course, we've got these chrome pushers to turn the air on and off. I'm in love with this car. I'm in love with it. So before we take it for a spin, let's talk about some of the rear features, and then it's time to drive my new car, guys. We're gonna go ahead and hop back into here. Now, you'll notice this car is so new that it doesn't have USB ports, it has USB-C for faster charging. We've got on the door a massage functionality. You can custom set 1 and 2 for different occupants in the rear. We've got the sunshades here, so we can open, sunshades, curtains, of course. Then we'll go ahead and hop in here, and this is where things get crazy. Driving the Cullinan is awesome. Rolls-Royce has made sure that not only is the rear seat experience amazing, the front seat driving experience is amazing as well. So of course we've got this rear center control module for the rear occupants, which is awesome. And then we've got this layout that kind of reminds me of how Mercedes does it. So you can of course recline your rear seat or tilt it forward. There's curtains in the back. I can click some buttons here to close the door, but what's really cool is this. Go ahead and click this button. This folds down, a little tray table for you. And then, of course, you have a rear screen where you can control anything from navigation to car settings to listening to, Oprah. And you can also do the same thing over here. But not right now, apparently. All right, guys. let's take this thing for a drive, and then at the end, I'll talk about in here and in here are two of the coolest features of the car, but we'll save the best for last. Let's get on the road. Oh, sir, let me close this, shall we? Or you just simply give it a tap and... Dude, this is the sickest car, guys. I know that it's not, on the surface, a car guy's car. But when you really dig deep and realize how capable it is, how nice it is, and all the features, it actually is one of the coolest cars for car guys. We're gonna go ahead and shut the doors. I haven't tried this yet. Let's see if we can do this without hitting myself. There we go, little trick. Hop, skip, and a jump. And of course, in a Rolls Royce, you don't have to close your own doors. You simply click one of two door buttons and au revoir. Driving the Cullinan now, or shall I say piloting it, I mean, honestly, it feels like you're in a private jet with no turbulence. Actually, smoother than that. You're just floating through the air in the most quiet, serene environment possible. In today's day and age, there's a lot of things that cause stress. Being behind the wheel or in any seat of the Cullinan is like the best de-stressor available in automotive form. It's a pleasure to drive, it's fun to drive, and at the same time, you're in your own little isolation chamber where you don't have to think about anything in the world other than driving and nature. It's so beautiful out today, we can experience that, but let's say it's not beautiful, it's pouring rain. You're in such a serene, isolated environment, you don't have to deal with it. Now, there are a ton of epic features that we'll go more in detail in supplemental videos, but one that I love that's common amongst all Rolls Royces is this right here. If I click number 8, the Spirit of Ecstasy logo up there will go down. Why? I don't really know, but it's really cool. Now I've clicked it again because of course we want the Spirit of Ecstasy showing. Of course, we've got beautiful Cannondale wood trim that you can push out of the way to reveal some cup holders. You can also raise and lower the suspension here. And of course, this is a off-road capable vehicle. So we'll go ahead and click that up on the screen. Pops, would you like off-road with DSC on or off-road with DSC off? Obviously, that's the mode we would be using most of the time. All of the buttons, from a heated steering wheel to heated and cooled seats, everything is amazing. And in fact, even though these look like keys to the most expensive piano in the world, they're actually touch sensitive. That is freaking cool. You can assign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to whatever you want. And number 8, of course, is that legendary Spirit of Ecstasy. Now, Rolls-Royce, it started to get a little bit dated with the Phantom and the Ghost. Then they came out with the Cullinan, and then I imagine they're going to be coming out with supplemental vehicles in the future. The Cullinan and the Phantom 8 were an update that basically was a hybrid between modern day technology as well as old school class and luxury. We've got fine materials. I mean, everything here is the finest leather. Everything is beautiful metal, beautiful woods. Yet at the same time, we've got a multimedia system that I imagine originates from BMW's multimedia, but has been given a little bit of a Rolls-Royce touch here, from notifications to media, radio, communication, navigation, applications. I don't even know what that is. And my vehicle. Now, like I said, the suspension is a hybrid between air suspension as well as communicating with the ECU and the satellite to realize what's coming up. If there's a turn coming up, the suspension adapts to future turns, reacts, and allows you to have the most comfortable driving experience possible. Now, in a car that rides this soft, you'd imagine there'd be crazy amounts of body roll. What do I mean by body roll? Well, when you go around a turn aggressively, the car is going to lean. Not so in this car. Because of the air suspension and the adaptive suspension, it makes everything really, really smooth. This is a very rough bump. We barely felt it. Another rough one. It just soaks up bumps. And then of course, if we want, we'll click this low mode that's apparently similar to sport mode. We'll take it out of off-road. And for a 5,800 pound SUV that could carry 4 people in comfort, and then of course there's actually a package where you can get a rear bench seat. I opted for the captain's chairs. It gives you the ability to recline. It gives you some features in the rear that I'll explain in a bit, like champagne coolers, decanters for your favorite scotch or whiskey, and the ability to recline, have heated, cooled, and massaged seats, have infotainment screens. I mean, the sky is the limit with the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. In fact, speaking of the sky is the limit, let's go ahead and open this up. One of the most enormous sunroofs I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, the car is actually available modern day if you wanted to order one right now with a Starlight headliner, but unlike the Wraith, where it's more of a city car or a commuter car, or you show up to a nice event, this is a car that can do everything. So if you wanted to take this camping, you absolutely could. If you wanted to take it off-roading in the sand dunes, you could. And what better than actual stars? You know, the Starlight is nice if you're in an area with light pollution or pollution in general and you don't have the opportunity to ever see stars, but you could take this anywhere in the world, do a cross-country road trip in style, more importantly, in comfort, and with the practicality knowing that we could just off-road this to a degree literally equivalent to something like a Ford Raptor. I was able to drive this, thankfully, at a ski resort in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and literally go up and down a ski resort in a Rolls-Royce. And it was able to handle it with flying colors. I mean, hill descent control, so you can let your foot off the brake and gas and the car slows it down to a specific mile an hour yourself. From cameras that allow you to see what exactly is going on the road around you. Check this out, guys. We literally have a multitude of cameras that allows you to comfortably drive your Rolls-Royce without worrying about anything in the world. We've got a bird's eye view of the car literally projecting on the actual road. I mean, that's me in between the lines on Mulholland Drive. And then if we slow back down, you're actually able to see a Cullinan on Mulholland Drive. That is too crazy. Now, it has a feature where it shows what's closest to the vehicle. So if you're off-roading, it actually displays a rock on the right side. Let's say you didn't know there was a rock right there. Well, the camera switches automatically to impending doom and lets you know that, hey, watch out for that rock. You don't want to hit that in your $500,000 Cullinan, which obviously you don't. But because of those safety features, because of those cameras, you can ride around in absolute serene comfort. And then at the same time, of course, we'll take it out of off-road mode. We'll click low here, and you can floor it. And it is really quick, guys. It's also surprisingly nimble. The steering is light. Obviously, this is no sports car, but it changes directions with ease because of the fact that it has rear wheel steering, and the chassis is just so dang advanced. I'm on top of the world. This is my favorite SUV in the world. I think it's the best car Rolls-Royce has ever made. And right now I'm sitting, driving on some of my favorite roads, sharing this with you guys. It feels like a win for all of us, not just me getting my car, but a next chapter of vehicle virgins that I'm very, very excited about. Well, now that I'm done filming, I'm done driving, get to sit back, relax, and show off one of the cooler features of the Cullinan. Go ahead and open this up to reveal a cooler for whatever your favorite beverage is. If you're above 21 like myself, it might be champagne. Go ahead, rest that beautiful Rolls-Royce glass. Pop open a nice bottle of champagne and cheers to all of you guys for all of our success as a team together. Seriously, this is awesome. Nothing like ruining lamb's wool on film. And pouring the most ridiculous... That sums up right there how the shot was not supposed to go. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video. Cheers.